Hey guys, it's Mike again. It is Saturday at around 7 o'clock Central Time, and there's a party going on next door because it's the weekend at Houston Institute at Teach for America. It's been a crazy last couple weeks, so let me just kind of fill you in. Sorry I didn't have one last Sunday. I had to move in, and that's a whole other story in and of itself. Alright, long story really short. So I got to Mississippi, which was crazy. Like the flight was good and everything went well. That's the long story, really short. Everything went well going to Mississippi. When I got there, we had a bunch of different activities that we were supposed to do, and most of them were okay. They weren't great. A couple of the things we did were really awesome. There was one about community involvement, and that was fantastic, and there was a lot about just learning about the Delta and stuff for specifically like English secondary placement teachers and things like that, and that was all really good. Then we had some interviews, and the interviews were like the keystone to this whole thing. By the way, this is the Delta symbol, like Delta. You'll probably see me do it another point during this video, but if I'm doing it randomly, it's because it's stuck in my head, and it's just like gonna be there forever. So yeah, the interviews. I had 3 interviews. They all went pretty well, and I'm really excited about a couple of the schools that I interviewed with. One in particular where I just really connected with the person interviewing me, and it was a great experience. I'm really hoping I get placed there. I should find out the placement within the next couple weeks, and then I'll know where I teach. So that was going on with that. And then I took an 8-hour drive down to Houston with Jennifer Hurwitz, who is a Teach for America Corps member, and that was interesting. It actually went really well for the most part. 8 hours goes by pretty quickly when you have someone to talk to, believe it or not. She was really tired, so I was trying to keep her awake as much as I could, but as you all know, I'm so terribly boring, so I just couldn't do it. Anyway, so I got to Houston, and I'm on the 12th floor out of 17 floors, and these aren't like little steps. These are like Rocky Balboa steps to get up these things. And I have like a 60-pound bag and a couple of 30-pound bags and a 20-pound bag and a garment bag and all this crap because I'm going to be here for 5 weeks. And I definitely went up 12 flights of stairs because the elevator line was really long. In the wrong tower. There are 2 towers. There's the North Tower and the South Tower, and I went up the North Tower first. And I had to go down 12 flights of stairs and then up 12 more and then go out and collect the other 60-pound bag and drag that up, and it's just I felt like an idiot. By the way, this music might be a little distracting in the video. Anyway, Houston has been fast and furious. We have this giant book, which is actually in a binder right now, so I can't show you. But it's been crazy since I've been here. Like, here's an example of like a daily schedule that I've been working with. Like, this is next week's schedule, and I know you're not gonna be able to read it, really, but I'll show you like an example day. Like, all right, here we go. So you see, like, I'm the A group, so I'll lead teach, and then my other teacher will lead teach. There's no C, so we actually split it. Then I'll have a little bit of flex time, and then I have to be on like lunch duty, more flex time, a planning period, flex time, and then we have a lesson planning content session. And that's actually a pretty light day. Once we get into teaching, we thankfully have a little bit less. But this first week was all about how to lesson plan, do classroom management, and all of that. We had to create a management plan. By far the funniest part we have on our procedures is if someone forgets to bring a pencil into class, they have to stand up and say, like, say his name is Richard Giles. My name is Richard Giles, and may anyone be so kind as to lend me a pencil that I may borrow. And yeah, we're gonna make him say it that ridiculously because we don't want kids forgetting their stuff. Hold on a second, I'm looking up to Steve. Yeah, okay, I got it. And what was really neat, I found I was teaching at Chavez High School, and the classroom is incredible there. Like, it is so cool. There's a smart board, which basically, like, if you have a PowerPoint up or whatever, you can physically write on the smart board with this marker, and it'll stay on the board until you switch slides, and then you erase it, and it's just really neat. You can do all this stuff with it. I don't know if my schools will have it wherever I end up, but if they do, I'm gonna use it all the time. And when I finally got through this week, I got a new name tag. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Mateer, English teacher, Chavez, Teach for America. It's crazy saying Mr. Mateer, isn't it? So, and my name was on the outside of the door along with my collaborative partner, who is James O'Neill. And let's see, lesson planning is hard. Oh my goodness. Like, I've actually picked up on it pretty well, but you have to really analyze these things. Like, you'll get something, for example, they'll be like my first lesson, my first real lesson after the first day, which is just like an assessment, is students will be able to understand um, how to identify the main idea in a paragraph. Now, that doesn't seem bad if you think about it, but then you have to figure out, like, what is a main idea without using the word main or idea. Like, what's that even mean? Most people don't even think about it. They just like know what a main idea is. Then you have to think, like, okay, so now you know what a main idea is, but how do you identify it in a paragraph? What's the actual step-by-step process? And so that took a while for the first one, but the second one went pretty quickly. It was about inferencing. I'm feeling pretty solid on my lesson planning. I got some pretty good feedback from my core member advisor, who is awesome. She is 24, works in the Rio Grande Valley, and just really knowledgeable. She happens to be an English teacher, so that is so convenient. I've been asking her a lot. I'm actually meeting with her tomorrow to go over our first day plans and to ask her some questions. It is really loud over there. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear this. I guess I'll find out later, but there are like a bunch of people getting drunk over there because apparently that's what some kids right out of college need to be doing. Actually, speaking of which, today I took the praxis and found out that there were a couple people who stayed out too late yesterday and didn't make it to their praxises because they were drinking. Anyway, I had the praxis too today, and it had so much chicklet on it. Like, I'm doing English in case you're not aware, and like a lot of stuff I was studying and looking at was like, who wrote 1984 and all that. But this was like, first question was like an excerpt, and it was either from Wuthering Heights or from Pride and Prejudice. It was from Wuthering Heights. I got that one right. There was a question about the color purple. There was a question about the Bronte sisters in general. It was actually pretty, objectively difficult. One thing I didn't expect at all was that there was a lot of grammar on there. There wasn't like any grammar pretty much on the practice ones that I took. However, I got all the grammar ones right. That was actually the strongest point I had when I was writing and doing the praxis one stuff. It's just something I'm pretty good at. They had like comma splices and assonance and all this other crap on there. Yeah, woo. Okay, so getting back to the Delta, we have a bunch of cheers that we were doing. We had this big group ceremony a couple days back. First, we learned this Mississippi one that goes M-I-S-S-I-S-I. Oh, crap, why did I mess that up? M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I-P-P-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-M Delta. And we do the little delta at the end. And then we learned another one that's like, remember the times they like, everywhere we go, people want to know who we are, so we tell them we are the Delta, the Mississippi Delta, Forest City down to Greenwood, and like, call response. And we were by far the loudest group there, so that's all been going well. I am officially going to start teaching on Monday. It is pretty nerve-wracking and pretty exciting. I feel pretty prepared though. I'm getting into things unrelated to teaching, but still related to the experience here. I actually have pretty decent food, surprisingly. I'm not sure why that's that important, but I've been having lots of apples, which is funny because I'm a teacher. I even have one right now that I'm going to eat in a little bit. And, what else? I met some really great people. My roommate that I have right now, Derek, he's awesome. The roommate that I had in Induction, Jared, Jen, of course. This girl, Michelle Skinner, who's great. Some of my core members, Summer, she's really cool. And I met a girl, Madeline, who I've been running with a few times. She's pretty awesome. Let's see. My partner that I'm working with, that I'm splitting the block with, we both teach 75 minutes. His name is James O'Neill. He's awesome too. Pretty much everybody I've met's cool. Melissa's really awesome, and Leslie's really cool, and we all just get together or get along really well. So here's hoping it all continues to work out that nicely. We sleep in these weird things called couches. They're like bed couches, and I heard all these horrible stories. Well, horrible is relative, I guess, about couch buddies here at Institute. I don't know. I mean, judging by the party over there, that might be happening with some people pretty soon. So anyway, I will probably make another one of these after my first real day of teaching on Tuesday, if I have time. It depends how my lesson planning works out, but that should be fun. Alright, and if not, then I'll give you one at the end of the week that lets you know how much they broke me in half. Alright, so until next time, this is Mr. Mateer, and I'm signing out. Bye, guys.